Anton, Daniels, and Micca. Let's review their relationship from an astrological perspective.
Stars aligning in your favor, what's the vibe? Pisces with a Taurus, loves a wild ride. Neptune's dreamy, Venus caught you. Earth and water mix, they say it's true. Late night calls when the moon is bright. Love language flow like a hip-hop delight. Gemini check, keep it fresh on the track. But your Aries moves got me never looking back.
Celestial vibes in the spotlight. Looking at your chart, it's a cosmic invite. Celebrity couples living for the thrill like Jay and Bay. Got that powerful will. Astrology talks, every sign got a role. In this hip-hop love, we're chasing that goal.
All right, guys. Today we're going to be reviewing Anton, Daniels, and Micca. Now, guys, these two have been in some type of scandal. They're both social media influencers. So we're going to be looking at their charts from an astrological perspective and their relationship. So let's first look at Anton Daniels. His birthday is April 13th, 1982. We see that he's an Aries, guys. His sun is at 23 degrees of Aries. Okay, so that's someone who's a leader, who likes to lead, who wants to be first, a first mover, you know, things like that. So let's look at his Mercury. His Mercury is at 26 degrees of Aries, so it's right by the sun. So we know his Mercury is combust, guys. So sometimes when he's not focused, he takes action before he thinks. So that's very important. Keep that in mind, guys, because some of his actions have been, you know, kind of crazy. He'll do something first and don't even think about it. He'll say something. Mercury rules communication. He'll say something, not thinking of the consequences of what he just said. So it is what it is with that. That's just his thinking. So now, of course, his Mercury's combust. We talked about that combustion, guys. So, you know, when a planet's right by the sun and it's combust like that, it's very debilitating. Next, let's look at his Venus. His Venus is in Pisces, guys. So Venus is exalted in Pisces. So that's a good thing. It's good to have that placement. That's really good, guys, in terms of relationships. So, and along with that, it's making a nice little trine to Jupiter right here at 7 degrees of Scorpio. So that's good. And although Jupiter is retrograde, doesn't matter. That's a nice trine, especially when you got Venus exalted in Pisces like that, which is a good thing. So he's lucky to find love, to be married, and all that good stuff, guys. So that's real good. He's gonna always be lucky to find someone to love him and be able to fall in love. So that's a good thing, guys. That's a really good thing. Also, look at this Juno, which rules marriages and relationships. That's making a sextile to Venus. So again, that is a good thing. That's why you see him married for so long, guys. So his planetary alignments allow for him to be married and allow for him to have luck in finding a marriage and love. So that's really good, guys. Look at Juno is sextile Venus and it is sextile Jupiter. And again, sextiles, guys, are opportunities. So he was designed to have these opportunities in life, in relationships. So that's pretty much a good thing, guys. So that's a really good thing. So now let's take a look at another side of him, though, guys. All right, let's take a look at another side of him. Now, let's go back up to Venus. Venus being in Pisces like this is that sometimes love can be delusional to you. That's the flip side of it. Also, it could be some lies involved in you know, within the relationship. Also, Pisces rules secrets. So secret lovers. You ever heard of secret lovers, guys? So Venus rules love. So you put Pisces with it, you got secret lovers, especially if it's squared a planet like Uranus, which it is. It's Uranus is at 4 degrees of Sag and is retrograde. Now, guys, as you know, Uranus rules infidelity. So when you got that squaring a malefic planet like that, yes, you might find some things involved along the lines of that relationship that's gonna be grimy. Okay, so this is what astrologers call a natal promise. When you find this in a natal chart like this, it's not a matter of if it'll happen, it's a matter of when it'll happen, guys. So keep that in mind as we keep moving along within these charts. Now, another thing, look at Venus. It is semi-squaring his sun. Now, guys, semi-squares are like an alert point. You know, it's an alert point. That's basically what it is. It's basically what this means is that, you know, for him, loved ones and love in general can create stress for him. Okay, so just keep this planetary alignment in mind because this is going to repeat in her chart. That's crazy, right? It's going to repeat in her chart. So this is how they're going to be connected. They're going to be connected through some squares, guys, that they have in their personal planetary alignment. So that's very important. Also, another alert point. Look at this Juno right here. His Juno is squaring his Mars. See that? Now, guys, when you have a person's Juno squaring their Mars, you know, what that means is that, you know, that's a major tension and major crisis in their relationship, guys. And this is something they're going to connect with that. They're going to be able to talk to each other about that stuff because they will always have this major crisis somewhere along the lines in their relationships in life. So this is personal relationships and also business relationships. They're going to always have conflict with another person. They're going to always have some type of major crisis. And it's not all the time, but it's throughout the relationship. Okay. So just keep that in mind. So, and again, you know, that Pisces that you guys see right here, that Venus in Pisces, you're going to see this. It's a reflection, guys. You're going to see that because Pisces rules dreams and imaginations. But most important, it rules lies, guys. So just keep that in mind. Now, let's take a look at Micca's chart. Now, guys, for Micca, her birthday may not be accurate. I will say this, but we do know she's a Pisces. We do know it was February. It's somewhere in February, guys. So February 24th. The year may not be correct, possibly, but from a source, this is the birthday that I have obtained. So let's just keep moving with that. Now, we know her sun is at 5 degrees of Pisces. So we do know she's a Pisces. Okay. Now, look at her Mercury. Her Mercury is at 11 degrees of Pisces. Now, guys, Mercury is in its detriment in Pisces. Why is it in its detriment in Pisces, guys? Why is it detrimental in Pisces? All right. Number one, Mercury rules communication. When it comes to Pisces, it has a habit of communicating lies, false accusations, misinformation. Oh, yeah. Delusional thinking. That's another thing. And the fact that it's retrograde, it's debilitated even more, guys. So there you have it, right there with that retrograde. It's debilitated. So she can forget things, you know. She has a habit of forgetting things, forgetting what she said, right? And we've already saw this. We saw this many times. So, and you know, when she forget what she says and people kind of bring it up, guess what happens? She starts backpedaling. Thus, the retrograde. She starts trying to go back, trying to think back, trying to walk it back, trying to walk her communication back. That's why you got the retrograde back right there, okay? Also, now normally people with Mercury retrograde like this, depending on the sign is in, some with Pisces, they're gonna forget what they said. With a lot of other signs, they'll just keep repeating the same old story over and over again. So you'll notice that when you interact with people that has Mercury retrograde, guys. So nothing wrong with that. They're designed like this, just like she was designed to do this. She was designed to lie, guys. I have a lot of clients like this, and even going through stuff on a personal level with people with Mercury, with Pisces, or that Mercury is in the 12th house. Guys, they're gonna lie. Okay. And sometimes it feels good for them to lie. You know, it feels like an accomplishment, like they kind of got over. They were lucky at it. Look at her, Jupiter and Pisces. So she's lucky to, you know, have the ability to lie from her standpoint. Okay. And also from people that have this particular configuration, they're gonna feel lucky to have this particular power. Okay, because they think it's a power. So that's something very important I want you guys to learn and understand. So, and again, we've noticed how she's acted on several occasions during interviews where, you know, she forgot something and then she tried to walk it back. Okay. So we've noticed that. Also, she's supposedly married. Well, you know, let's take a look at some stuff here. Okay. Let's look at her Venus. Now, her Venus is in Capricorn, guys, at 22 degrees. So when you got Venus in Capricorn, guys, this placement, this framework, it can be hard to give and receive love. So when you see this in charts, or when you see somebody with Venus in Capricorn, yes, it is very hard for them to receive and give love sometimes. And when they do give it, it's typically in a form of, you know, money, gifts, etc., something very physical, okay? Because that Capricorn there, which is Saturn ruled. So, you know, it's very difficult to connect with people emotionally because of that Capricorn. You know, very hard because that Saturn ruled. When it's Saturn ruled like that, it deals with restriction and holdbacks. So it keeps you from connecting with some people sometimes. But if you have this configuration that she has, which is, you know, she does have that Pisces, so which is good. So that's a very emotional sign. So if she can connect with someone, which we will see with this particular orb, in that particular orb of 5 degrees or 11 or 28 degrees of Pisces, if she connects with someone with another planet within that orb, within another water sign or something like that, yes, she's going to connect with them emotionally. So she's not completely blocked, but it can be blocked with the person that doesn't connect with her like that. So just keep that in mind. She also has some Scorpio right here, Pluto. So that's a major emotional connection as well, because of course Scorpio is emotional as well. So that's an emotional sign. So she can connect through that, not just through that Venus. So she's not all cold, but she can connect. So just keep that in mind, guys. So that's a good thing that she can connect through those gateways. Okay. Now, look at her moon. Her moon is in Capricorn. Now, not precisely. I mean, her moon is probably hovering around 7 degrees, 17 degrees, or, you know, could be 10 degrees of Capricorn, 21, 22 degrees even. With her correct birth time, we'll see. But as of right now, we got it at 20 degrees of Capricorn. So, and the moon is in its detriment in Capricorn. So that's not exactly a good placement for the moon. Again, that's another emotional blockage. And she would have to connect emotionally through other means like Pluto, Jupiter, Mercury, and the sun. And we're going to see her connect anyway. So, and again, guys, this is just something that she was designed. She was designed like this. So nothing wrong with that. But now her Venus. This is good right here, guys, with the Venus. So although it's in Capricorn, it does make a positive aspect with Jupiter. So that's a good thing. All right. So she's lucky to find someone to love her. So that's good. You see that? So that gave her the opportunity to find somebody that loves her, which that's why she's, kind of married right now. She's, well, kind of, but she is married right now. So supposedly, but she found somebody that can love her. So that she's lucky at finding that. So that's good. All right. Nice little sextile with Venus and Jupiter. Also, the moon is sextile in Jupiter. So that's good too. So that's a beautiful thing, guys. All right. She has that opportunity to find somebody to love her and to be loved by someone. Now, let's look at Juno. Look at her Juno. Her Juno is at 2 degrees of Aquarius, guys. And again, Juno rules relationships and marriages. It's an asteroid that rules that particular area. So what this means, guys, is that, she loves unconventional relationships because that Aquarius is right there. You see that? So Aquarius rules unconventional things. So that's kind of crazy, right? Because she talks about conservative values. But the conservative values come from the Venus in Capricorn, guys. You see that? Because it's Saturn ruled, and Saturn rules traditional values and conservative values. So all that you're hearing from her, that comes from her moon in Capricorn and her Venus in Capricorn. So although she loves conservative values, she doesn't necessarily want to be in a conservative relationship. Okay, she doesn't necessarily want to be in a relationship with conservative values. So just keep that in mind. So it's kind of like a lie, right? Again, going back to that Pisces, which rules lies, right? So yeah, she loves those conservative values and traditional marriages and all that good stuff, but she does not want to be in one. She wants to be in an unconventional marriage. That's what that Juno in Aquarius is explaining right now. That's what that's signaling to you, everybody. Okay, that's what that represents. That represents unconventional marriage, not a traditional marriage. And if you look at a marriage right now, yes, it's a very unconventional marriage, guys. She's not in a traditional marriage. So that's one thing I want you guys to see. And only probably an astrologer would see that. People like us, a lot of people are able to see through, what she's doing, but a lot of people are not. Okay. So now her Juno is squaring Mars. And guys, we just saw that in Anton Daniel's chart. So they both have this in common. Their Juno both square their Mars. See that? So what is that saying, guys? That's saying, guess what? They can talk about those tension points in their relationships, okay? They can talk about those conflicts that they have in their relationships, in their own relationships with each other, right? So that's another connection point. You see that? Having those tensions and major crises in their relationships, they can talk about that, okay? Now, look at her Venus. It's semi-squaring her sun. Again, just like Anton's chart, they can talk about those points. Okay, they both deal with the same issues. So you see that connection that they got, guys? They both have two distinct planetary alignments in common. Okay, and sometimes this is what connects people. It does. It connects people. I remember I had one subscriber and they said to me, "Hey, squares, they make people stick together. They connect people." Yes, through this way. Yes, this is how they're connected. This is how squares connect people. if they both have the same type of squares in their personal charts, natal charts, yes, they're going to be connected through those squares. But from a compatibility standpoint, if they're squaring off with each other with these particular squares, no, that's not going to keep them together. That's going to separate them. That's going to divide them. So just keep that in mind, guys. It doesn't work like that now. It works like this when they have these particular alignments in their personal natal charts. Yes, when they have these personal planetary alignments, it does work that way. But from a compatibility standpoint, no, it does not. And I'm about to show you right now. This is both of them together, guys. All right. Now just keep in mind, Anton Daniels on the inside. He's on the inside chart. He's on the inside wheel, and she's on the outside wheel. Okay. Now, the main connection that they have is her sun in Pisces and his Venus in Pisces. You see that, guys? Look at that. That is a strong ass connection. That's a strong connection, guys. Okay. Now, although this is combust, and I'm going to talk about why they would have never been together anyway. This is one point. But from a standpoint of attraction and compatibility, this is a strong connection. When someone's sun is conjunct the other person's Venus like this, it probably feels like a whole dream. Okay, this is a dream to them. It's a dream to her to have somebody in their presence with this alignment that connects with them. Okay, so it's almost like it's an illusion, isn't it? Because Pisces rules illusion. It rules delusion as well. So they're both delusional with each other, with their relationship, no matter whether it's business or personal, guys. You see that? And again, Pisces rules delusion, imagination, lies, and secrets, guys. So this is a secret right here that they will always have with each other. Whatever secret they got, they're going to always keep that because they have that secret connection, guys. Look at that secret conjunction right here. And we got Mercury involved in it too. So they're not going to say a damn thing. All right. They're not, we'll never know, we can speculate or whatnot, but we know they have a secret. We know that. When you see this particular compatible configuration in two people's charts together, they have a secret. Okay. They do. All right. This secret is deep too. It's a deep secret. And it's probably something they'll take to the grave, which is all good. It is what it is. All right. Now, like I said, this connection right here, this is something Anton's wife, Rita, will never have. Okay. She doesn't have this connection with him. All right. She doesn't. I kind of looked at her chart. I meant to bring it up, but I kind of looked at her birthday and I'm like, okay, yeah, he don't have this. She don't have this with him. This is something that only Micca has with him. Okay. Or if he was to meet someone with this birthday, yes, he's going to have that same connection. So that he can probably write that down as a matter of fact, but it is what it is. Also, with this, connection that they have with Juno, look at this. Look at her Juno. It's at 2 degrees of Aquarius, right? Look at this. Look at this connection that she has with his Mars. That's a nice trine. So her Juno is trining his Mars. And again, trines are very nice flows of energy, guys. So just keep that in mind. Now, what this represents, it represents that they would never have any type of, they have conflict resolution skills, guys. So that's good. And that's why when you see them together, they rarely have conflict because they have conflict resolution skills in their relationship. It doesn't matter what type of relationship it is, whether it's personal or business, they will always have conflict resolution. They're not going to square off and fight with each other, guys. So that's a good thing, actually. I mean, really is. It really is a good thing. But, you know, also it's a strong physical and mental connection as well. It is, because that air right there, and it's the air trine. So they're thinking to themselves, like, let's resolve this conflict by, you know, other means. She's thinking about solving the conflict through unconventional means. He's thinking about solving the conflict through what? This Venus rule Libra, which is from a standpoint of, you know, hey, I like it to a point where I'm not going to have conflict with you. Also keep this, keep this in mind, guys. That's another conflict resolution skill that they have. So, and that's why it's a repeat pattern. So her Juno is trining his Mars, and her Mars is trining his Juno. So they got that conflict resolution, man. That's pretty cool about them. Okay. So that's why you would never see them in conflict. Even on the panel, guys, if you kind of look back on all the shows that they've done, if you look back on those panels, they hardly had conflict. And if they did, they resolved it quickly and easy. So that's one thing I want you guys to keep in mind and pay attention to. Conflict resolution skills. If you got a nice Venus trining Mars, or if you got Juno trining Mars, something like that, that relationship is going to have really good conflict resolution, and they're going to be able to get through all types of stuff. Even right now, I know she's not probably speaking to them, or they're not connected like that anymore, but they can resolve this conflict. This particular scandal that they had going on just now, they can resolve this easily and just keep moving forward. But now, they will never be together, though. Okay, I can tell you that right now, guys. This would have never worked. And I think actually on one of the panels with other panel members, when he was in one of his, live streams, he was imagining himself with her and asking her, would we have ever been together? And that came from his Venus in Pisces, guys, because he got all emotional with it, and he got all emotional with it, and he's just thinking to himself, like, wow, this connection. And he was thinking about it was just this conjunction, guys. That's what made him do that. He was like, wow, would I ever be, would you ever be with me? They would have never been together, guys. And here's why, guys. Here's why they would have never been together. Okay. And I want you guys to take a look at this. Even if they were single, she was single and he was single, if they would have got together, it would have never worked. Okay. Number one, her Venus in Capricorn right here, and her moon is squaring his sun. So, guys, that planetary alignment alone would have decimated the relationship. Doesn't matter about the conflict resolution skills that they had. This square right here would have decimated the relationship. There's no way she would have loved him. Not like that. Okay? Not like he wanted to be loved. With his Mercury in Aries like this, and his sun in Aries, and it's squaring her moon and her Venus, they never would have made it. Not as husband and wife. I mean, they'll make good, good friends with benefits, but no, not a marriage, guys. So if they were single, they would have never made it. So, but like I said, this scandal that they had going on, it's going to blow over. It's going to keep moving forward. Hopefully she can pick up where she left off and keep moving. She has a nice voice, guys. As you can see, if you look at her Mercury, anytime you got Mercury and Pisces like this, a woman has Mercury and Pisces like this, they can have a nice enchanting voice. That's another thing that probably got Anton, her enchanting voice. Her voice sounds really well. She can sing, of course. That's that Pisces, Mercury and Pisces. So she has a chance to make it, guys. Hopefully she'll get back at it. Nice little trine with with Lilith right here. So that's really good. All right. But yeah, guys, that's the deal with Anton and Micca, guys. And I'll get back with you guys on the next one. Peace.